The tax code in New Jersey, Governor Christie, and Atlantic City, some of the topics we're going to try to deal with right now with Assemblyman Jack Ciattarelli, who is in the 16th District, a Republican, Somerset, Middlesex, Hunterdon, and Mercer counties. I guess I don't have to give the counties every single time. But let's start with Atlantic City. I know I've talked to the mayor several times there, and he has said he would like to let the city go bankrupt so they can start anew. The governor said there's no way he's going to allow that to happen. Where do you stand?
If you remove all politics and I just put on my MBA CPA hat, Chapter 9 municipal bankruptcy is in the best long-term interest of Atlantic City.
So you're against a bailout?
I really am.
And why? I mean, a bailout seems to be popular right now in Trenton.
We really need to hit the reset button in every single way in Atlantic City. In my opinion, the bills that have been proposed that are both bailout type scenarios, they don't hit the reset button in every single way. We need to hit the reset button.
Before we talk about the tax code, I want to talk quickly about the gas tax. Everybody, I've been surprised to hear some Republicans for it. The head of the Chamber of Commerce was in here. He was for it. Where do you stand on it?
Here's what I say to Republicans. There's one thing that they should hate more than taxes: debt. And since 1988, all we've done is borrow, 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 and borrow. And now the amount of revenue that's produced by the gas tax does nothing other than pay the mortgage. It doesn't fund any new projects. That is bad news for New Jersey. It is inevitable. The gas tax needs to be raised. Let's start having an intellectually honest conversation with New Jerseyans.
How much?
Anywhere from 25 to 30 cents, which would be competitive in the sense that it would still be 10 to 15 cents less than Pennsylvania and New York.
What about the argument that it's a regressive tax, that it hits the middle class and the poor much harder than it hits the rich?
It does, but there is no other way to fund our infrastructure. And let's take a look at what happens when Trenton politicians don't address an issue. Who got screwed last year? New Jersey transit riders. 25% increase in fares for the people that are using mass transit. The people are doing exactly what we want them to do. A lot of people don't realize the Transportation Trust Fund doesn't just improve our roads and bridges. It takes care of our mass transit systems.
Are you one of the people that would like to see it be tax neutral, in that there should be some cuts somewhere else if you're going to raise the gas tax?
As a last resort, yes, but I would prefer to see the Transportation Trust Fund taken care of over here, and over here a major overhaul of our tax code.
Talk about that. Where would you like to see some of the changes?
Oh, without a doubt. There's a number of things that we can do that would change the perception of New Jersey overnight. Get rid of the estate tax, get rid of the transfer inheritance tax, allow for the carry forward of capital losses. We're a second home ownership state. Do not tax the gain on the sale of a second home if it's never been used for commercial purposes. And let's support mom and pop shops out there, small employers. Let's make the first $1 million of gain on the sale of a family-owned business tax-free. Those laundromats, pizzerias, small law firms and accounting firms and all the above, that's their 401k. We could change the perception of New Jersey overnight. And the way to balance that on the other side of the ledger is with restructuring our income tax rates and closing the combined reporting loophole for our corporations.
You know, you talked about the governor spending more time in New Jersey. Were you critical of him, and do you believe he spent too much time on the campaign trail when he ran for president?
I would never deny anybody the chance to run for president. And by the way, the governor of New Jersey becoming the president of the United States is a very exciting proposition, should be good for New Jersey. But once that presidential campaign was over, it's time to come home and focus on the problems here back home.
Now let's talk about you running for governor. Is it something you'd like to do?
It's something I like to do because I'm passionate about New Jersey. I feel strongly about doing right by the people of New Jersey, pointing the state in a different kind of direction. And I see it as wide open next year. And quite frankly, after 4+ years in the legislature, I'm having trouble achieving what it is I think New Jersey needs most.
Does Donald Trump help or hurt statewide candidates?
This year? It depends. I think it depends on the state. And it depends on whether or not individual candidates are conveying their own message. I've never been one to allow someone else to kind of dictate the referendum on Jack Ciattarelli every November.
But you know, when people go to the polls, it's not going to affect you right away, but when people go to the polls, they vote a certain way, and sometimes if they're going to vote for the head of the ticket, they just vote down the ticket. And so if he is not popular, and we don't know if he is or not, I've been wrong completely on Donald Trump like everybody else, right. And we don't know if it's going to or not, but are you concerned with him at the top of the ticket?
I'm concerned with all three candidates, quite frankly. I don't really like the choices that Americans have this year, and we're down to 3. I mean, I know it's inevitable that she'll be the Democratic nominee based on the math, though she continues to have trouble shaking off Bernie Sanders. But between the 3 candidates, I don't know if it's a great choice, if you will, of any of the 3.
So your feeling about the 3 goes beyond politics?
It really does. I mean, at the end of the day, giving me the choice give me the choice between Hillary, Bernie, and Trump, I think I'm voting for Trump while holding my nose.
Great, sir. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you,
I
Larry.
appreciate it. Assemblyman Jack Ciattarelli and possible gubernatorial candidate for the Republicans. When we come back, a brand new job training program in North Jersey that's getting a whole lot of attention. We'll explain when Jersey Matters continues.